You're listening to the Random Select Podcast, where we're constantly crossing the line. Wait, there's a line?
Yeah, legal says there's a line.
Fuck legal. We're gonna do the show the way we want to. So sit back and relax and see where it goes. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Mario, and I would like to welcome you into another episode of the Random Select Podcast. It's the podcast that's all about thought-provoking talk. And today is Friday, and the weekend is coming. Hope everyone have a great weekend. Today, I just wanted to talk to you about something really quick, about how a man turns a good woman bad. And there's a lot of different ways that this can happen, but I just want to talk to you from my opinion and how I think most time it goes wrong, at least from my point of view, from my experience. I just think that inherently women are different from us. And by this particular point, once you reach a certain age, you, as a man, you definitely know this. And as a woman, you definitely know this. The way we think, the way we do things, the way chemicals flow in our brain. It's just different, you know, all the scientific facts and studies are out there, but I'm not talking about it from that standpoint. I want to talk about it from the standpoint of what I know to be true and how I've seen things play out. Because inherently, a woman wants to love with all her heart, her soul, her being, and her essence. She just wants someone that she know that she can give all her love to 100%, and in turn, that man can be that for her, give her back the same love. But the problem with a lot of that is that some men, and I'm not male bashing, I'm not saying that all men, but some men can never give 100%. And I've been that man myself, to be quite honest with you. You could go up to a certain point, but you just feel that all women are a particular way. And we just don't want to give our all, because giving our all makes us vulnerable, makes us feel like we're not in control. And the one thing that most men can't stand to relinquish is control, whether it be control of your finances, control of your house, your job, control of your heart. We just can't stand the fact that we got to relinquish control to somebody. And it's not even the fact that she's controlling. It's the fact that you have no control over the fact that you want to give everything you got to this particular woman. And for some men, that's really uncomfortable territory. That's really the type of place that they don't want to be, because it's not familiar to them. And anytime that something is not familiar to a person, whether it be a man or a woman, we either tend to want to destroy it, or we tend to run away from it. We tend to fear what we don't understand, or tend to want to hurt, kill, or destroy what we don't understand. And I think since the beginning of the time, that's just human nature. But let me start from this standpoint. I think it starts with trust. Because no matter how much a woman has been hurt and done wrong by men from her past, somewhere deep down inside of her, she still wants to believe. She still wants to believe that there's a man out there for her who can understand her, who can love her, and that she can trust, who she can give her all to, and in return, he'll give her his all to her. No matter how bitter she wants to be or she claims to be, there's always a little chink in the armor where the right man, the right person can come in and change the way she looks at things, right? Let's say you come into a woman's life and you start off by doing what you say you're going to do, right? You're not telling any lies. She haven't caught you telling any lies in that beginning phase where she's been, an investigator. She's been a detective. She's trying to ask you all type of questions to make sure that you're telling her the truth, because she's going to try to catch you up. She might ask you the same question 3 different ways just to make sure that you got some consistency in your answers. And this is the woman that's kind of been out there, who's dated a while, who's seen her share of games played on her, and she kind of understand what the routine is. She kind of understand how to go about this thing, and a woman who pay attention over time, she literally develops an interview strategy, like taking a survey to make sure that you can go on to the next level, next phase, because some women are not going to let you get to phase 2 or stage 2 because you didn't even do well on the interview, or you didn't do well on the survey that she presented you with first. Let's say you decided, okay, you built that trust. A woman decides to be with you in several different stages. She decides the first stage is, once she meets you, that she want to spend some time with you. And once she decides she want to spend some time with you, then maybe she want to go into a relationship with you. And once you feel that, okay, we're in a relationship, now let's get serious in the relationship. And now that you're serious in a relationship, this is the part where she say, now I want to spend my life with you. I want to make you a part of my life. And a lot of men will play games and keep up a facade all the way up until the spend my life with you part, which you have kind of been a good person, a good actor or a good con man up until that point, till you can get to the point where she's decided that she want to spend her life with you. And now when I say take a good woman and turn her bad, I don't mean the woman who started off with you as your side chick, knowing that you was in a relationship right from the jump, and then now you don't want to act right and you don't want to come and be with her. Not that woman, because she was delusional right from the get-go. Because I'm pretty sure 95% of most men who start off with a woman and develop another side chick or a booty buddy or a cut buddy or however you want to call it, friends with benefits, never leave the original person they are with, because you end up just being somebody to play with, have a little fun with, to mess around on the weekends, occasionally go on a getaway, but you'll never be number one. It's rare. It's that 5% of women who end up being number one, but you got to always say in the back of your mind, the way you got him, is somebody else out there ready to steal him from you the way you stole him from her? I mean, that's food for thought. That's something you really have to think about. All right, getting back to the original thing, how a man turns a good woman bad. Okay, now I said it started with trust. Now you got everything going. She's trusting you. You've done all the little things. Your word means everything, because no matter how bad a woman feels or how hurt, she just want to believe that that's one man out there for her. No matter how much she's been sold that knight in shining armor, no matter how much mentally she's come to the conclusion that that's a load of bullshit, that American dream is a fantasy, a fairy tale, but some little piece, some little part of her still wants that. And you can't blame her, because this society has done a good job of embedding that in our brain, that Cinderella is a real thing. The knight in shining armor is going to come in, swoop you up, take you out your situation, and just change your whole life. But how many people actually really get that? How many people actually get a chance to feel like they're the knight or feel like they're Cinderella? So, all right, now that you have earned her trust. It's one of them type of things where, as a man, she is trying to get you to get to the point where she just want to be number one in your life. She just wants you to put her first. But for a lot of men, because we're so scared to think that something could be so domineering and so controlling in our life, we tend to try to hang on to that one little shred of what we think is dignity, that one little shred that what we think makes you a man. We call it independence. I still could come and go as I please and do what I want. But when you're in a relationship and you love somebody, you want to be with somebody, you can't come and go as you please. You can't do what you want. By definition, you're not in a relationship if that's the case. So you got to get to the point where you as a person, gotta say, I want to relinquish certain things just so me and this person can be together. So now that you and this person are trying to be together, you gotta make it where the trust continues, because slowly as time go on, the woman just feels like she needs it. She gotta have it. But then it starts off why you start telling little lies here. You start telling big lies there. And so now each time you lie or each time you do something that hurts her, you don't understand. You're just taking a little piece of her away each and every time, every time you tell a lie, it's just a little chip come off the statue. Every time you do something that's disrespectful, dishonest, a little piece, and all you're doing is chipping away. And a woman just wants to feel like, what I like to say, she want to have that twinkle in her eye for you. She want to have a lustful fire burning in her heart. And that makes her feel good. For women, that's the one thing that they need to make them feel like they're appreciated and respected inside of the relationship. But every time we do something wrong, it puts that twinkle out just a little bit more. Every time we lie or we cheat, it takes that burn in fire and douse it a little bit more. And what happens is a woman will ultimately end up forgiving you for some of your indiscretions. But people don't understand. Forgiving you and forgetting are two different things. She will never forget them, because if you cheat on a woman one time and she decides to forgive you, it takes years for you to build that back. And that little 5 or 10 minutes of pleasure that you had with that other person, you had no idea that the woman that you with, that you claim you love, it would take years to build that back. And some women will still be with you and you never get it back, because she always going to be wondering, where's he really? What is he really doing? You know? And then another thing that turns a good woman bad is when the woman herself is the type of woman who needs companionship, needs adulation, needs the compliments to feel good, to feel sexy, and still feel like everything is above board. Because some men feel like they're being good men when they paying the bills. They feel like I come home every day and I'm doing what a man is supposed to do to take care of a household. But yeah, that's what you're doing to take care of the household. What are you doing to take care of the woman? What are you doing to make sure she still feels like she's the queen? You know, make sure she still feels like she's number one to you. What are you doing on that aspect? Because a lot of men only can understand and sympathize with a woman right before or right when they feel it's going to lead to sex. What about all the other moments in between that you're not having sex? What about paying attention to the details? What about when, you know, you're trying to figure out why she got an attitude today? What's wrong with her today? What about trying to figure out what is making her feel good? It's not just when she's bad. It's just trying to take some time to get to know the woman, period. Because from my personal experience, most women tend to take the time to get to know the man. We as women rarely take the time to truly get to know the inner workings of a woman. Because somebody could come over and say, hey, y'all want to come out to dinner, and you know, come over to our house for dinner. You'll say, okay, what you serving? Then you'll automatically turn it down, because she say, oh, we're having, let's say, spaghetti. And you, the first thing you go, no, he don't like spaghetti, so I ain't going to accept this because I know he don't like spaghetti, right? Because she took the time to know him and to know the things that he do and don't like. The man will say yes, knowing damn well that she don't like spaghetti, but still invite her over. And the first thing she say, don't you know I don't like spaghetti? Why we didn't invite us? So what I'm saying is pay attention to the details, and that'll keep you from being in a situation where your woman is just not feeling you. Because we think as men that when a woman physically leave us, that's when she decided to leave us. That's when it's over. No. A good man turns a good woman bad because he don't pay attention to the detail. She has decided to leave you long before she physically left or she physically put you out. Once a woman mentally check out, even though her body is there, she's not there. She's gone. When she's starting to feel like another man can entertain her, make her smile, or at least make her think or figure what it must be like on the other side of that fence, she's already gone at that particular point. And then this is the thing. After she forgive you, we'll go back and do the same thing over and over and over and over again. Because we always got this confidence going on about us that we figure that she'll forgive me and we'll move on. We do a few nice little gestures, get us a flower, maybe take on a trip or buy her something. We think that that material thing is covering up her real pain. That's just a band-aid. That's just a quick fix. But you're not really mending her heart, because at some point something's going to happen that reminds her of the fact that you just don't care, you don't love her, you don't respect her. Because if you did, you wouldn't keep doing the same shit over and over again. Because think about it, if your child did keep doing something you tell him to do, at some point you want to whoop him, or you want to punish him severely, because you be saying, I'm not whooping you for the actual thing that you done. I'm whooping you because I've told you to stop doing this thing 50 times. And at some point you hit the boiling point, because you be like, what's wrong with you? You don't understand what I'm telling you. I told you 50 times to stop doing this. It's no different from a woman. She's giving you 50 chances. She's told you 50 times to stop lying to her, stop cheating on her, stop coming home late, stop blowing the money on things. But you won't listen. And then when she finally decided to leave you, you want to tell people that she's crazy. She was always nagging. She was always making it difficult, getting on your nerves and things of that nature. That's because when you hurt and when you scorn and when things ain't going your way, we tend to want to make ourselves play the victim role. We tend to want to make ourselves the victim when it's really far from that. You didn't tell them how you never paid attention to her. You never took her out. You never cared to ask how it was work. You never cared to hold her just because. Not because she was crying or she was sick or anything, just because. You never decided you wanted to cook for her for a change. You never decided that you wanted to go down and cook in the kitchen with her for a change. You never decided that you want to just come home and surprise her with something just because. Not because you fucked up, not because you messed up. You always want to give her something just because you saying, this is what I want to do for you because I love you and I care about you. But you can't understand why she feeling this way. You say, oh, she don't want to have sex. Oh, I can't get her to be a certain way. When she know the only time that you want to be affectionate is when you want to climb on top of her. That's the only time she can get you to listen. There's no foreplay. There's no pillow talk after it, as we like to call, bedroom talk, sex talk. None of that. You just want to do what you got to do. And I'm not saying every man do this. I'm just saying if you take some time and look back over your history of some of your past relationships, you will see that you fell into this particular pattern. And at some point, all women want to know that still is a fire burning for them deep inside of you for them. Because I need to tell you guys this. Whenever you think you're comfortable with your woman and you think it's solid and you think she could never ever go anywhere, some other dude, some other man is definitely out there watching your woman, waiting in the bushes, waiting to prance like a tiger on a gazelle. Do y'all not understand this, man? You think you're comfortable with your woman. You think that you're the only one that she could potentially be with. You think that nobody else is out there. Trust me, right now, you're with your woman. And I'm telling you, somebody is watching. Somebody is waiting, sitting in the wings, waiting to get your woman. So don't get too comfortable because no matter how you think your woman are, let's say you figure she gained some weight. Let's figure she don't, maybe you figure maybe she's changed or you just got comfortable with her. And just know that somebody out there is willing to talk to her. Somebody out there for the moment, even if their intentions aren't good. Somebody's out there waiting to make her feel good. Even if she know deep in the heart what she's doing is wrong, she feel it's gotta be better than what she's going through right now. You understand what I'm saying to you? She know that at some point she's checked out already with you. She know that at some point that you don't care. She could tell you she's going to hanging out with her girls. You wouldn't even care to check on her. You won't even call to say, baby, are you all right? Because you're comfortable in knowing that she's going to be there. And she's laid up with some other man because you stopped paying attention a long time ago. And I'm not saying that this is the way it goes all the time. I'm not saying that this is a normal relationship. I'm just letting you know step by step how things unravel. And then at the end when she's leaving, you'll say it just happened all of a sudden. And I'm here to tell you from a man to another man, it didn't happen all of a sudden. A man does not turn a woman bad all of a sudden. It was signs, but we too comfortable, too ignorant, too stubborn in our own ways not to see what you've done to her. And not all men do this to women. I'm just saying that sometimes when it goes bad, sometimes people, that if you look back over the course of the relationship, you'll see that there were signs in place. There were things that could have been done that could have rectified the situation. You could have told her you love her a little bit more. You could have spent a little bit more time. You could have not wait for her to plan a getaway or a trip or something like that. Took the initiative to show that even in your downtime, you're still thinking about her. Even when y'all have been together for 10 to 15 years, you still feel that passion burning for her, that you still want to do things for her, to her, with her. And you still want to let her know that all your thoughts revolve around her. Because fellas, what we do is we let new kind of come in and ruin everything. See, you got something tried, trusted, and true that you fell in love with, and you're willing to throw it all out the window for somebody you have no clue about. Somebody that you don't even know who truly cares about you. Just seems like it's good for the moment. And sometimes it's those moments that ruin a lifetime. It's those moments that ruin people's lives. It's those moments that give you moments that you can't recover from. It's those moments that have you saying to yourself, right here, right now, that moment right there is where I fucked up. It's where I could have had something special. I could have had something good. And so now the next man got to come in and pay for all the stuff that you've done. Because some of these women have gotten loans for you, helped you get through school, helped you got better jobs, pushed you on to do better in your life so you could probably potentially be that man to provide for his family. But you did all that stuff and then you messed it up, and now you're doing all that stuff for other women. When the woman who helped you get to the point where you're at, you just spit on her. You just let her go to the wind. You didn't even care. And now we can't understand when we meet certain women why they are a certain way. Look at her history. Look at what she's been through. And for us men, it's easy to say, well, I'm not him. I didn't do that. It's not as easy sometimes to come back from when your heart has been ripped out your chest and then you're supposed to just pick it back up, put it back in yourself and carry on. It's not that easy. Think about it. If you're a man and you've ever been hurt, the first thing we say is fuck them all. Fuck all bitches. You know, I'm going to get out here and I'm going to play and I'm going to hurt them the way they did me. That's the first thing you do. Instead of saying, let me heal myself. Let me get right. Let me take some time. Let me not date. Let me fix myself before I go on to the next person. And I understand that that person that I'm trying to date now is not the person who hurt me then. We can't even do it. So, but we expect them to do it. Why you like that? Why you can't just put your guard down and let me in? She can't put her guard down to let you in because she just can't. She can't afford to have her heart ripped out time and time and time again. At some point, you ain't going to be able to put it back in and it's not going to fit right. Maybe you're the person to come in to show her how love is supposed to be, show her how relationship is supposed to be. Maybe you're the person that comes in and teach her slowly but for surely that believe and trust in love again. So it's several ways that a man can turn a good woman bad. But a lot of times it's merely trust that takes a woman and twist her all up and do things to her that make her feel like she just can't be in a relationship with a person again because she can't trust. Trust is a very amazing thing. When you got it, you feel like you're walking on cloud nine. You feel like that no matter what happened, I could go in the trenches with this person and we gonna be okay. But when you don't have trust, when you don't have it, it makes you feel like you're uncertain about every aspect of your life. When you feel you can't trust the person that you're sharing a living environment with, you're sharing a house with, you're sharing a relationship with, you're sharing a life with. It's an unsettling thing to know that you're laying next to a person that you don't fucking trust. How can she love and be right? How can her attitude be right when she don't trust you? But you'll go out and tell your friend she tripping. I don't know what's wrong with her. You do fucking know what's wrong with her. She don't trust your lying, cheating, conniving ass. And that's how you turn a good woman bad. You take away that trust. And once the trust is gone, love is right behind it. Love is right behind trust. Because once she don't trust you no more, love is most assuredly following trust right out the door. And once the love is gone and the trust is gone, eventually you guys will be gone. The relationship will be gone. Because why subject yourself to that? You as a man shouldn't even want to be with somebody who don't trust you and then don't love you, but they still there. That's dysfunctional. It's not healthy. And ultimately, it's going to lead to you guys' demise anyway. So, fellas, if you're in a relationship and you don't want to turn the woman bad, keep the trust there. A lot of things you can come back from. You may have some issues with losing a job, have some financial issues. She could bounce back with you because she knows she could trust you, that you're still going to go out and do what you got to do to provide for her and the family. Right? You can have some issues where maybe you get hurt and you something happened, you could have a disability, but she know that when you were right, you were trustworthy and she got your back because you've always had her back. But once the trust is gone and the lies and the cheating come, you can't ask her to stand behind you firm when you can't do that for her. All right. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Random Select Podcast. This one right here was just to say that a man can turn a good woman bad, and let you know that trust is the one thing that definitely turned most women into bad women. And I don't even want to say bad women. Let's just say bitter, untrusting women, But thank you for tuning in, guys. You can find the Random Select Podcast anywhere that there's podcast. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Reddit, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn Radio. You can find us everywhere. And if you feel you like the content that the Random Select is bringing you, that I'm bringing you, you can always go to www.patreon.com/Random Select, become a patron, donate at any level, and it will be truly appreciated. For all the patrons that donate, I have exclusive content for you guys. I have podcasts that only you guys get privilege to. I have once a month round tables where you guys can talk to me personally and give me suggestions and just tell me what's going on with you, vent and things of that nature. But that's only for my patrons. So if you want that exclusive content, please donate at any level. It really don't matter. $1, $3, $5, $10, $100. $100 to make you a sponsor. I would love to have you as a sponsor. Anybody that donates at the $50 and above level will get their name mentioned each and every show with a special thank you. All right. With that being said, guys, I want to thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Random Select Podcast. It's the podcast that's about thought-provoking talk. You can also find all of these podcasts at therandomselect.com. And we are out. Thank you, guys.
Are you listening? Damn.